Hey guys, I'm Udit Goenka, the founder and CEO of PitchGround, and I'm super thrilled to get Hetu Patel um, on this live product tour session where we're gonna be talking about Desky that's launching today exclusively on PitchGround. We're gonna go through the entire platform. We're gonna also take your questions. We'll also share what is Hetul cooking up behind the scene with the tool and how is he planning out to make Desky one of the most and one of the highest used app in the coming days. He is really very keen to solve the problem of support. So we're gonna dive right in. If you have just joined in, make sure to drop in your hi and let us know where are you from, where are you located. And if you have any questions, do let us know. You can go to desky.support to check out more about the product. You can sign up for a free trial just to get an experience of how the software really looks. Also, there is a demo button. So if you are not looking to sign up, but just want to have a feel of how the software really works or how the software really operates, then click on the demo button and you can basically just check it out and see whether Desk is something that's a great fit for you. So Hetal, before we get started, let's dive in and can you tell us a bit more about you, who you are, introduce yourself to the audience.
Awesome. Hello, PitchGrounders and everyone. So, for the people who have just joined in, so I am Hetul and I'm the founder of Desky. So, how Desky came into picture? So, like, I've been into tech since almost my working career, like almost 8 to 10 years. So, serving customers across several regions and several countries. So, in the initial phases where we were structuring things, where we were getting team right, where we were getting the technology right and getting the processes right, one thing that was often missed, which is a post-sale service and post-sale customer service. So as we started growing and the work started to grow, this customer support become really a pain area for us. We started missing track. We started to, miss the request of the customers. So that's where it struck us, and we got on the whiteboard and we decided, okay, we need to get something a more systematic approach, yet simple approach, because we are a small team and we didn't want it to too much overwhelm ourselves. So that's where we got on the whiteboard, started exploring options out there in the market. We explored some of the big players in the customer support segment, and we realized that okay, this is not everything that we want, but we need something more lightweight, more crisp to the simple and the basic fundamentals that we can address the customer support queries. So that's where we try to find some best match, but we eventually ended up deciding, okay, let's create one for ourselves. And that's how the Desky was born at that time.
Awesome, but there are still so many solutions out there. Why do you want to build another one? Why do you want to overwhelm people with another solution? What was the reason? Like, I understand that you are trying to do things different, but still, like, why yet another solution? What is something that Desky solves in a more unique way that hundreds of other platforms aren't able to?
Right. So, as I mentioned, right, so we were struggling with a lot of, we initially explored a lot of options out there. Every option had two things. They were all based out on features. Okay, we have hundreds of features out there. And secondly, they had some recurring amount, which was, being a small team, which was, we were like having a second thought whether to have that recurring cost added to it. So we wanted something like which is simple, which gets the basic stuff done.
Right.
At the same time, it's powerful, and third, importantly, it is affordable. So what I believe is like if any tool that becomes the part of your growth process or your growth journey needs to be affordable at any point
Right.
of time,
I
and
agree
it
with
need
that.
right. So and it needs to be justified to your basic purpose. Okay, every business has a lot of complexities around, but unless and until the basic fundamentals and the core is covered, all those extra features are, not that important. So so that was the inspiration that we wanted to have a very simple bloat-free version where it is easily adaptable to any of the process, be it complex or be it simple, and it just gets the job done.
Awesome. So let's get started on things while people are still joining in, guys. If you're joining in, make sure to drop in your hi. Let us know where are you from. Let's make this session a lot more interactive so that we can actually address your issues throughout the webinar, and we can answer and solve all those queries. So Hetul, you're ready to share your screen and get started with the presentation?
Yeah, just let me quickly do that.
Awesome.
It's visible.
Uh, yes, it's visible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch off my camera now, and I'm going to pass on the desk to you completely. And at the same time, can you make it full screen? Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Hitul, the mic is all yours.
Awesome, guys. So people, this is the presentation, like what I feel or what we as a team feel, how the customer support needs to be carried out, right, in this 2020. If you are a growing company, if you are started from a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, we are just starting out, having a small team and it's growing, the sales are coming in and your work is going great. So if you are on the growth track, then definitely the customer support area is one which you would need to address very soon. This is something that we had in our pain area list, and that's why we created Desky. So starting with the presentation, so this is how we carry out customer support. So first of all, why do you need to have customer support, and what are the benefits of having a very streamlined customer support? The first thing, it increases the customer satisfaction. Obviously, who would not want to have that? The customer satisfaction, it increases customer loyalty. So now when I say customer satisfaction and customer loyalty, uh, the loyal customers are the one which becomes your brand advocates, right? So for any businesses, the loyal customers are the most preferred ones. The third thing, it encourages customer retention. So in today's world, like there are hundreds of options available online, right? So the customer retention is one of the key area that is necessary for your business to move on. Next is the positive word of mouth. Obviously, that's a very old thing and it's still into effect, and it helps a lot for any growing business or any company. We initially had just positive word of mouth driving for us. So of course that is a plus point. Then comes increase in product awareness and brand awareness. Obviously, in this very cluttered business marketplaces where there are endless options, so you need to have some unique edge and you need to have that awareness around, right? So that awareness is something that is achieved by giving like good customer service. Third is reducing cost. Of course, the cost is directly and indirectly linked to the customers. So if your customers are happy, obviously your income is going up and the cost is reduced, right? Then coming up to the next point where we try to analyze that who are the key role plays into any customer support engagement, assuming that we have a simple engagement where uh, your team is interacting with the customer. So what I believe is every business is based on one simple fundamental, which is the human aspect of the business. It is a transaction between two humans, so whether it is a purchase or whether it is a support request that is being served, right? So the both the endpoints, which is in support service, we have customers and the one that is support agent who serve the customers. These two aspects of the customer support journey needs to be addressed with equal importance. So we'll get to it. We'll start with the role customer, and then we'll go to support agent and how we try to achieve that in Desky is what I'll walk you through in the coming presentation. So let's start with customers, right? So for any business, so you must have been a customer to a lot of other vendors. So it's very simple and very straight. Every customer has certain set of expectations from the vendor or from wherever he or she purchases. So, right. So what are those expectations, and how and being aware of those expectations is very critical to be able to serve your customer better, right? Let's jump to those points. So first is be present where it matters. one of the very straightforward and very simple thing. Every customer of your expects you to be present at some place, or some channel, right? So it's important that you need to be present at one place that your customer expects to be. Say for example, in this today's world, there are tens of different channels of having interaction from the customers. Say for social media, your website, your apps, or several other things. Imagine that you are just not present at just one place where your customer is expecting you. So all the presence at the other channels and the effort goes to waste, right? So understanding where your customer expects you to be, and being present there is one of the key element in customer support journey, right? So whenever you're planning your customer support, so always try to have like how you can be present at where the customer expecting you, and how you can make that process very simple. So over here, I'd like to give one example. So I'm sure every one of you must have experienced this. Like whenever, if you have ever tried to call your telephone or your mobile phone customer service, right? So they end up showing you with 10 different options. Press 1 for this, press 2 for this, the IVRs. And at the end of the day, at the very last option, they ask you to, okay, I want to contact some human out there. So very basic example, every customer wants to connect with some person which is directly able to understand what the requirements or what problems the customer is facing, right? So yeah, being present where it matters is one of the key area. The next is simplifying the support journey. As we say, this is the core principle on which Desky is based on. Embrace the keep it simple approach. This, believe me, this never fails, and this is what, especially in the today's marketplace where we have a lot of options, lot of clutter, lot of noise around. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, I would say, right? Avoid complex workflows, reduce friction wherever is possible. Again, it's something similar to the example that I gave previously about the telecom users. Then use tools that simplify the process instead of complicating it, right? This is again one point which was the inspiration behind us starting Desky as a project or Desky as a platform. So we wanted to have very simple process and approach towards handling things. And what is the benefit of a tool if it unnecessarily complicate your process? So yeah, try to use tools that simplify the process, and with Desky we try to do that. Then comes promote self-service. Yes, it's very much self-explanatory, and again it's important but highly neglected point, right? Promote self-service. Obviously your documentation, your video guides or the tutorials that you have needs to be there in place. Of course, a lot of customers go through the documentation and the video guides to help themselves out. And specifically when your customer base grows, obviously your team would not be able to handle every request from every single customer. So promoter self-service is always a win-win case where your customer can help himself without reaching out to you, right? So have a good documentation, have a good knowledge base that you can create. Video tutorials is something very much in need in today's world, so that is something you can work on. Have a decent FAQ section. The FAQs are what I believe are objection killers, right? Every person who tries to explore the product or tries to explore your services has some basic questions or some objection that he might have. So this area is very effective for killing those objections, and you can have the customer conversion, I mean, rate very increased, right? Next comes the examples how we try to achieve that with Desky. So in Desky, this is one of the screenshot with just one example. It shows public tickets. So with Desky, we have a concept called as public tickets. Now what it does is, so for example, if one of your customer has created some support ticket which addresses one particular problem, right? And if you feel that a similar problem can other customers might also face, right? So you can make that particular solution or that particular thread as public thread, and which becomes the part of your knowledge base then. So any customer who might have faced similar problem can just walk through that conversation, and he might not need to come to you to raise a support ticket. So yeah, public ticket is something that Desky embraces very well. Then, as we mentioned, clear-cut documentation. Again, not too much of cluttered documentation, keeping it simple, as the mantra goes, right? So, in this screenshot and the left, you can see a submit query form. Again, very simple and straightforward for users to just select the product, enter the subject, and submit a query directly. On the right side, you see the knowledge base area where we have categorizations. Again, don't try to overload over here, which eventually defeats the purpose of having knowledge base. It has to be precise and crisp to the point, so that the user finds it easy to access. So yeah, that was knowledge base. So yeah, that's it from the customer end. Now we move to the support agent role. Right, so being a support agent, now I'm sure everyone who has been in the shoes of a support agent will agree that it is one of the most stressful job. Like you are at the front line and you never know what's coming your way, right? So making life of support agent much easier and empowering them is the equally important factor when you are planning your customer support journey, right? So moving on, for any your customer planning support journey planning, you need to make sure that you empower your support team to succeed. So how do you do that, right? So you need to equip them with the right information at the right time. Now, customer support is often more or less real time in today's world. Like people come in, they have some request kicked in, or they have some live chat session kicked in, and they need solution at the right time, on the spot, in fact. So that's how the landscape has changed, right? So for every support team needs to have right information at the right time. Secondly, make it easy for agents to collaborate internally, right? So if you have a team of support agents, not everyone might be good with all the products or all the departments. So the collaboration part needs to be easy. They should be able to share the information with each other. So that is something, again, a very important factor. Use tools that enhances the support process, again similar to how we discussed in the customer role. So the tool again needs, the purpose of the tool is to simplify your process and provide you the right information, right? So use tools that does that, and with Desky we try to do that. This is one of my personal favorite, right? Because while starting in the initial days, I'm sure like a lot of entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or even the early agencies must have faced this. Like we wear multiple hats, right? So we at times become support agent, we at times become the manager, we at times become the problem solving guy, right? So this is something that was personal to me as well. So creating a happy space around is very, very important. Why? Because as we mentioned, the customer support team is on the front line and their job is stressful. Imagine a customer support agent has addressed back-to-back agitated or frustrated customers, right? So how he or she must be feeling throughout the day. So provide the necessary break that they were very much deserved. Second, provide them high quality support when they are, and the agents provide high quality support when they are happy at work. That is a proven fact. Uh, Depends upon, like, if the mood of the agent is very happy going, then obviously he will kick in some customer service with minor extra effort. Give rewards and appreciation wherever it's possible, uh, so that it encourages them to keep on doing that successful job. The next is have an internal transparency, right? So The internal transparency directly reflects to the information flow around the system. So when the company starts growing and the departments come into picture, different small micro teams come into picture. So at that time, the information gets fragmented. And that becomes one of the challenge where we are addressing the support. So I'm sure a lot of you must have experiences. You try to reach out to some of the very big MNCs who are serving a lot of vendors, and their support team has no clue what's happening around. Okay, they say I need to escalate, I need to find some information, please hold on. So to avoid that, the information flow across the departments is necessary, right? The customer expects support team to collaborate internally. So this point is something very much uh, easy to understand, and in fact it's something that we have experienced all the time. So imagine a case where a customer has to repeat the same question again and again to the different members of your support team. That is not the way it's done, right? So if being a customer I've asked some question to you, then I expect that you have communicated internally with the team. So that again comes to the collaboration area. That information needs to be shared. So we have with Desky, we try to achieve that at some minor and simple level, right? Next is customer values honesty and transparency. That goes without saying, right? Even if your team has messed up, or your team has has done some blunder, uh, be honest and be accepting enough so that you can convey it to your customers. So and pass that information to the customers. Believe me, that is the most and that customer would really value that transparency and honesty, right? Last point, again, this happens in very occasionally, but help your support agents to deal with outages, right? So in terms of emergencies, in terms of when your system goes down, or when your services is not in place, not intact, your support agent be needs to be trained, needs to be very well educated about those situations, so that they can handle all the support queries themselves, and whatever way, whatever that is coming their way. And outages are the time when a lot of angry and agitated customers come your way, right? So at that time, support agents need to have all this information, right? So how we try to do some of the things that in Desky that we try to do to help our support agents. Say this is just one of the example. So this is the sign-in page, right? So every time an agent logs in, so we've tried to experiment with the left area that you see, right? So that's an interesting fact. So this is a part of creating a space, a happy space that we do. So that's an interesting fact that is populated every time a agent logs in. Again, every single time the page gets refreshed, or every time someone comes on this page, you would find a new interesting fact, right? This is just to have some happy engagement, and make something more interactive, and make your agents, or even in fact your customers as well, to be more involved with the process. The next example is something that we are experimenting is gamification, right? So as we have seen, right? So customer support is a stressful job. Now imagine a situation where I've addressed almost multiple customers back to back, and all of them were agitated at me. So I definitely deserve a break, right? So in Desky, we've tried to introduce some gamification factor into it. This is something, I guess, unique to us, and we still wish to have more refinements and add more such micro engagement. So in the platform itself, if you pull up a window from the right panel, it would give you a very cool and very addictive, interesting small game which is called as Hetrix, something like as Tetris, but it is in a hexagon shape, so it's called Hetrix. You can play for a while. Again, the game is not something that is supposed to be misused, or it might also end up distracting the support agent. That's why we have some control measures on that part as well in Desky. So yeah, this is the gamification area that we try to achieve, right? Yeah, so more or less we are done with the presentation. So just winding up, the two main important aspect, the human aspect of the customer support that needs to be addressed, the customer and the support agent. And importantly, a tool, if a tool is joyful to use, if it's enjoyable to use for your support agents, that would directly reflect to your customer service experience. Right. So yes, guys, this was it from the presentation area, and we
Awesome.
can,
Thank you
yeah.
so much, Hitul, for that. Maybe you can. So what we're gonna do right now is we have a bunch of questions that's
Mhm.
coming up already. The guys, just keep dropping your questions. We are gonna be going through a product tour right now where we're gonna show a live demonstration of the product and how to use it, how to get started, the gamification part, and everything that we spoke about. Hitul is actually going to demo that everything so that you can go through the entire product. That will help you to understand whether the product is the right fit for you and your business, and how Desky can make a difference to your business. Right after that, then we're going to be answering all the questions. So just make sure that you keep dropping your questions, and we will make sure each and every question gets answered, no matter the amount of time it takes. But we will make sure that every single of your question is answered. So Hitul, you're ready to share your screen and start
Yes.
showing the demo. All right, back to you again.
Yes, so let me quickly share my screen again. So let me just quickly show you two things first, like how this product tour is segmented, right? So so Udit, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Awesome. So this is the pointers or the sections of how the tour is segmented. Let me quickly take you on that overview part. So in the tour, we will be first covering the overview and how to get started. So immediately once you get an Desky account, what are the first things or what are the quick first things that you need to do? The next important module, of course, is the ticketing system, how it is, and how you can submit a ticket, and how the customer support agent can answer those. The third is the Desky chat, a very simplified, non-bloated version of the Desky chat. That is something I'll give you a demo. Fourth, again, the important area, which is knowledge base, FAQ, and pages that we have. And the fifth area would be settings and integration, right? Definitely the Desky is a very simple tool, but it's has a lot of power under the hood, right? So that is the fifth point that we have. Now let me quickly take you to how things would work. So this is the website. So immediately after you purchase your coupon from PitchGround, so you'll be having a sign up page or the login page. I don't have the PitchGround page, but let me take you to the registration page, how it might look. So this is how the registration would look like. Again, since you'll have PitchGround coupon, so this package will be different for you. A simple registration form. This is one of the important aspect of your Desky tool. You need Desky completely works on the subdomain concept. So every company or every person who registers with Desky gets a personal subdomain. Say for example, Udit is registering to Desky, so he'll get something called as pitchground.desky.support. So if that domain is available, you'll have the access over here. If that domain is not available, it would show you, okay, you need to select something else, right? Over here, you need to enter your coupon that you must have got from the pitchground, and yes, that's just hit the create account button and you are ready to go. So immediately the account is created and your subdomain is set, you would get something like this. So I already have a demo account over here, which is demo.desky.support. So this becomes your personal homepage for your support portal. Every customer of yours will come to this particular domain and submit a request. So I'll quickly walk you through how this entire homepage looks like and what all possibilities and capabilities you have from the backend panel. So first is the banner area where you have some text. You can directly have a submit ticket area. We have some more features over here where you can enable some search of the ticket and articles. Again, this is disabled from the backend as of now. Over here, you have the background image. Again, you can change this image from the admin panel to match your brand guidelines and match the colors of for the brand consistency. Over here is the logo, some contact information at the top. Again, every single thing is customizable from here. Below that, there is quick links, which is public tickets, articles, and FAQs. So articles is a knowledge base. So we understand that some companies might not follow the concept of public tickets. No problem. This is again controllable from backend, and you can disable that part. Over here is the intro area. This area is something that you can use for welcoming your customer or greeting them, and or setting up some expectations, like what is the support policy, what are the general times that you guys are available, and what is your normal response time. So you can use this area for whatever purpose that you feel is right for your customers. Yes, so below that we have some recent articles as well, which is disabled from the backend, that you can enable it. And below that you have some social media links and footer. So yeah, that is the home page that you have. At the top menu, you have a submit ticket button. I'll walk you through that in a while. Tickets area, so this ticket is public ticket. Article is a knowledge base, and then you have something called as resources, where you have contact, FAQ page, and you can add n number of pages that you wish to add. Let me take you to the admin panel quickly. So on the top right corner, we have a login button. Just hit that login button and it will take you to the login page, right? So this login page is for your customers who would come here, log in with their Gmail or basically whatever account they wish to sign up with, and submit a ticket. But since we are seeing as a company and we need to log in with a company account, right? So while we are on the company account, let me show the thing that we discussed in the presentation. So this is the interesting small things that we try to do. So we have some interesting facts, we have some tongue twisters, and something small actions, like try to draw number 6 while you're making clockwise circles. So this is some minor fun activities that you can have. So I refresh the page and I can see a new interesting fact, right? So this is the engagement in the direction of making the customer experience happier for your support agents. So I already have an admin account. Let me quickly log in with that. So as soon as I log in, right, so you land on the dashboard page. So I already have some dummy data and demo data already inserted. So it looks filled, the dashboard looks filled up. But when you log in for the first time, it would be completely empty, right? So the first tab shows like how many open tickets do we have, what are the number of closed tickets, what are the active chat session, and what is the plan that you have subscribed to. Below that, you have two areas. One is the ticket, your recent tickets, or the new ticket that you have just received, and besides that you have the recent chat. So this was the dashboard. Now let me take you to the basic stuff that needs to be set as soon as we create an account, right? So go to the settings, go to general settings, and this is the area where you will personalize your entire support portal that you wish to I mean, based on whatever your company details are. So over here it could be something, anything. I'll have some dummy data, right? Your support email, the default language, the time zone that you are in. Again, here the logo that you wish to have. Let me quickly select some dummy logo. This is the site loader that you initially see. You can have it, or you can just remove it. Over here is the fav icon. Let me also select that. Right over here is a primary color, so it's already selected to gray since the logo is gray. And let me make it something different so that it's much more evident, right? Below that there is the contact information, then Google Map if you wish to have your address, your footer area, you need to enter your company name, then social media links. So this was the first step after you get started, right? So once the data is saved, I need to go to the front panel that I just opened. So now if you see that the entire portal has a complete different look and feel, right? The primary color is changed, the logo is updated, and the site information is also changed. If you see over here, uh, and the contact information is also updated. So next step is customizing the entire homepage the way you want to have it. Right. Give me a second. Okay. So next step is from the settings, you need to go to the home page. So this is the title area that you can have if some. So this is the banner area. Let me parallelly open a new window on the front page so that we can compare and do it easily. So this information is something over here is the banner area. You can add some welcome text. You can change the banner over here. Over here, if you can see, I had disabled the search. So I can enable it and that would be visible on the front end. One very small but interesting feature that we have is a notice bar. So this notice bar is importantly used for how passing on some updates or some messages to the customer regarding the update. Say for example, we are on uh, on vacation from 30th May to, say for example, 5th June. Right, so this is the notice bar that would be visible on the front end. I'll quickly show you once we save this. Again, you can have a notice bar color customization. This is the quick link box that we had seen on this particular area. So over here, you can enable or you can even disable it. This is the intro message that we spoke about, right? So over here, you can write anything. Again, this is a rich text editor. You can uh, edit, you can make the font size change or color change. You can add some script as well, iframes, right? Below that, we have a recent article section. Initially, that was off. Let me quickly turn that on so that we can see changes on the front end. So as it saves, let me refresh the home page, how it goes. So if you see, we have a notice bar now. So this is a very quick tool that is very helpful when you want to communicate to your visitors. Like for example, in during COVID-19, we are running with limited resources. So there is a delay in responses, something like that. Again, if you see the search is enabled, this search, it was previously disabled. So customer can search some articles directly from here. You can just close this notice as well if you wish. This is some dummy article that we had inserted before, and the article area, you can check for more articles as well, right? So this is how the homepage customization works. So this was the step 2 of your getting started point. Make your portal as close to your brand as possible, and from there, step 3 comes into picture. So now what's the step 3? Since it's a support ticket, obviously you want to add some products for which your customers can start generating tickets, right? So over here, you can go to products and categories. So this is the area where you can add a number of products or categories that you wish to have. Again, this is a very powerful tool area from which that defines what categories and what products you would be accepting your tickets for. Right, so we can quickly jump to the add product category. You can write the product name, anything. If it's for billing, you can add either a product or a category based on what your business relates to, right? So you can add some product name. Over here there is some purchase verification. So here is a very interesting thing which Desky does is, so Desky works on some purchase verification mechanism, right? So if you are already having something like WooCommerce store, or if you are already in an Envato user account, so Desky has some built-in integration. So in cases where you want to accept tickets only if you have, if your customer has purchased something from you, right? Giving an example, if you run a WooCommerce store and you want to have only your verified customers to submit a ticket, then you can select this WooCommerce order verification. Then it comes status as active, and then is inactive. You can have some images that is visible on the front end panel when the user submits a ticket. I already have some categories added, so let's quickly check that. So if you see this WooCommerce billing, it already has WooCommerce verification enabled. So similarly, we can have Envato Market. We are coming up with Shopify, Amazon Seller, and more such integration. On top of that, we also have something called as external verification, where you can link your independent system with Desky directly. So I'll show you that in a while. But yeah, this is step number 3 that you need to get started. Right. Give me a second. So from the admin area, this was very quick steps to very quick steps to how to customize your entire landing page and how to get started. At this point, you are completely you are completed and you can immediately start accepting tickets. Now let me open a new window and take you through your customer's journey, how they might look. So if a customer opens demo or Desky.support, they will see the notice that you have entered. They can shut it down. Uh, and if they wish to submit a ticket, right? So unless and until they log in, they cannot submit a ticket. Let me take you to the login page. They can directly log in via Gmail if they have, but I already have an account. So let me quickly use that. Right, so I'm already logged in and I am now able to submit a ticket. So jumping to the ticket, submit ticket form, and over here we have the submit form, right? So over here, if I, this is all the products and category that we just added. So now taking up an example of the same WooCommerce thing. So I am a WooCommerce customer and I want to add something related to your WooCommerce billing. So the moment I select this particular product, the Desky system asks for the order or the invoice number. So this makes it Desky the purchase verification mechanism work, right? So whenever the user tries to enter it, give me a second. Whenever the user comes in and tries to submit a ticket and it says like, okay, I have my order number is 515. So the Desky automatically verifies this particular account with your WooCommerce store. So this is completely automatic and under the hood. So only if a user has a valid order ID, he would be able to submit a ticket. Again, this is optional and it is controlled from the product panel, as we have seen. Okay, over here we have some subject. I need to know the status of my order, right? Below that we have a demo URL field. Again, it's not mandatory, and this can be controlled from backend where you can switch it off. For some businesses who are into social media and into digital web designing and space, they might need to accept some demo URL or social media links into their support ticket. So this is for that purpose, but again, this can be turned off. Here would go the query: what is the status of my order? When will it be shipped? Right, so here we can just ship, or you can just submit the ticket. Over here is the attachment, if they have some images to attach or any file to attach, that is helpful for the customer journey. Over here is the ticket visibility. As we had mentioned, we have something called as public and private ticket. So private tickets are the ticket that are only visible to your customers and your support team. However, the public tickets are the one which is visible to entire audiences that you cater to. And these are generally the tickets which are like general solutions or some problem that has been addressed and it could help your other customers. Below that, there is some field. This is again an experiment demo field that I have added just to demonstrate that we can have, this is a custom field. We can have n number of custom field. If you wish to add some more fields to your submit ticket form, that is again doable from backend. So this is exactly what I had done just for this demonstration. You can add n number of fields, or it could be text area, or it could be a drop down. Say for example, whether what is your location, what is the city you are living in, what is your Facebook URL. So these fields can be added the way you wish to add from the Desky admin panel. So let me quickly submit a ticket. So as you see, immediately a web push notification is triggered since I had already enabled that part. So this is the web push that is triggered for my admin panel since I'm using the same system. So based on your notification settings, your user must have got uh, some notification via email, and they can track that particular detail from that email as well. Right, so here is the order number that we had seen. So this is the ticket panel for your users, and it lists some more tickets which I had created while demoing, or for just for the demonstration purpose. So in this panel over here, you see is the ticket number at the front, which is 15. Then comes the subject line. Over here is the product billing, which is like for what you have raised the ticket. Over here is the ticket visibility, what date the ticket was created, has this thread have any comment or not. Over here you have the priority of the ticket, when it was updated, whether this ticket is assigned to any department by the company or not. Over here is the status. So being a customer, if you feel that your ticket has been addressed, you can close it from here as well. Generally customers won't do it, but your support agents would do that for them. Let me take you to the ticket detail page, right? Of course, so this is a very simplified, cleaner version of the detail page. Again, it shows all the basic information which was captured while submitting the ticket. This is the subject line, and this is the basic ticket area that we had. So if you remember, we had added a product information, or the purchase ID, not product information, but purchase ID while submitting the ticket. So this is how integration works. So this particular order number of WooCommerce is available here. And when I click on the view order details, so all the order from your WooCommerce is automatically fetched from here, which acts as a reference for the customer as well as for the support agent. Now, say for example, this ticket is waiting for almost 5-6 hours and customer want to do a follow-up. Hey, do we have any update? So customer can directly have a follow-up, and you can see the thread is started and your agent gets a push notification, a web push notification uh, from the browser. Also, an agent can get the same notification in their mobile apps as well as on their emails. We have some more interesting notifications. I'll take you there in a while. But yes, this is it. This is as simple as it looks. User submits a ticket, enters some information, and he submits the ticket. Now let's move back to the admin panel and see the journey, how this ticket is addressed by the customer support agent. So coming back to the admin, if you remember, we had 7 tickets before. Now since we added one, the ticket is 8. Let me quickly take you to the tickets panel directly, where there is a lot of options and a lot of stuff that you can do around. So if you see the first ticket that is we have just received, we had some more dummy tickets that were added. So on the top, you see there are some simple tabs. All is like all tickets that you see, and the counter. Open is the one that needs to be addressed. Needs action is again the tickets that are waiting to be responded. Flagged is something, an optional thing that you can mark a ticket as flagged and which needs some special attention. Closed and trashed. So over here, this is same as what we discussed for the users. Over here, it shows the comment, but as an support agent and as an admin, you get some additional powers. So you can set the priorities from here directly. Say, for example, I change the priority to low, so it turned out low. And if you're working in teams, right, so you can assign ticket directly from here. Say, for example, transfer the ticket to some of your agent. So if you already have some department that you want to assign the ticket to, you can do that. I have some agent, so I've just assigned this particular ticket to. So being an admin, you can assign a ticket as well as you can address a ticket to both. So over here you can see it's been assigned to technical department and the agent name is Nick. Let me take you again to the inner page and we'll try to respond to this query. So being an agent, again, we have some additional options over here. You can transfer, close, or you can trash it. These basic information again shows a similar thing. Being a support agent, this is very important detail. If you're addressing your WooCommerce customer, you can see the complete order details. Again, that was fetched from your WooCommerce store. Now, okay, I am an agent and I need to answer this particular query. So I go there, I quickly have your order was delayed due to COVID lockdown, for example. So we can have that some reply that we can address. So over here we have something called as default signature. So Desky has a power to add the default signature directly, and every agent can have their own personal signatures, right? Over here we have something called as saved replies. You can add some routine text as saved replies. For example, I have a contact information. The moment I click it, the entire text that was saved, it comes into the query. So that is called something called a saved reply. Below that, you can also add some attachment which you wish to share with your customer. And below that, we have something called as close ticket. So if you as an agent think that we do not need any further communication on this ticket, you can just close and reply. Or if you expect your user to get back, you can just do a simple reply. So yes, I just replied to the customer, and at the same time, a user must have got some email notification with the same message again. And if you miss to add something, or you miss to add some portion or want to rectify it, you can anytime do a quick edit over here. So this is, yeah, very simple and very straightforward thing how you address a ticket. There is one interesting fact feature that we have that is purely for the team collaboration that we were discussing while during the presentation, right? So we have something called as notes. So this note, this is so me being an agent and me being an admin, I want to transfer this ticket to some particular agent, but I need to add some note to it, quick instruction to it, what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. I can do that via adding a note. So once I added this note, it is highlighted into a separate color and it is not visible to your customers. This is purely for your internal team collaboration and having some information which is specific to this ticket, right? Yeah, guys, so more or less this is it. And this is how simple it is to address your tickets and uh, keep on resolving the tickets. The next thing, or one important thing that is there is smart filters that we have. You can literally filter the ticket panel with all the possibilities that you can do. I want to see closed ticket, unassigned tickets. I want to check only some department ticket, customers, or some agent wise or product wise. So we have a powerful set of filter around here. And then comes the next important or one of my favorite thing, which is the gamification part. Okay, I've done a lot of work over here. I need to take a break. Okay, I can do is play a game. So over here it plays, we have the gamification area. Again, we try to experiment with a lot of stuff. And so this particular game, again, it says not supposed to be misused, but we have some control measures as an admin over there. So I'll take you through once I walk in into that agent panel, or sorry, that admin panel. So yeah, guys, this is how the ticketing works. So moving on to how chat panel looks like. So chat is a very straightforward, non-bloated version of the chat. Let me also come out here. Right, so this is the chat widget that, so this is the user login and this is the chat widget that the user has, right? I'm already having some details. I can ask a question that I want to add. I need help, right? I can immediately start a chat and the chat would be initiated. And say, for example, this notification is already triggered. So it over here, it says a message, okay, some agent is waiting for some agent to respond to it. So if I get to the chat panel, this is the chat panel. We have three tabs over here. There is new. New is all the new visitors or new chat lands up in new tab. So if you are an agent, this new tab is visible to all. So how it works is whichever chat request an agent picks up gets assigned to him automatically. So he need not to be assigned it separately from there. So me being an agent, I just picked up one chat from the new section and it automatically came into my area, right? So we can quickly start typing. Okay, hi, how can I help you? right? So this is the chat communication panel. Over here, we have some basic information based on the IP address or the country selection comes in. This is the feedback that user can give. This is the referring page. This is an important identifier to understand from which ticket or from where the customer has initiated the chat. Again, very simple and very straightforward. If this information is too overwhelming, you can just collapse that window and make your conversation channel more clearer. Let me start some conversation over here. Okay, so if you just keep give some attention what I'm typing over here and what is visible in this window, right? So we have one very small but very interesting feature is I need some help with startup plan features. So if you see that the user has not yet sent the message, but whatever he or she is typing, it's visible to your agent. So this is a very small but interesting feature that helps your agent understand what is going, what is the context of the communication, what your user is trying to answer. So I can remove it or I can add it, whatever, right? But that information is directly visible to the customer. Right, a new notification is triggered. Again, these notifications are on mobile app as well. So yeah, very straightforward and very simple and non-bloated version of chat. And we have a lot of more additional powers lined up for particularly for chat, like integration with Facebook Messenger and stuff that is in the pipeline. But now let's move on to again the chat panel over here. In the chat panel again, you can use your saved replies over here, or you can see canned responses directly to the to your chat users. So the moment this particular chat is addressed, you can mark it as resolved from here, or you can just tick it resolved and it goes to your resolved panel. I already had two chats with same user, so it's visible. So yes, guys, this is how straightforward and simple the chat is. And now moving on to the next section, which is articles and knowledge base. So in the articles and knowledge base, we have some lot of different stuff available. So I'll walk you through what all details it is. So in the articles, we have something called as categories. These are article categories to be specific. And you have how to guide. So I'll very quickly run this by. You can add n number of categories that you wish to have. It could be like, for example, installation guide, general guide, or how to videos, or integration settings, something like that. Every article in Desky is linked to one of the category out of here, right? So over here you can add a category. Very simple and straightforward. Status, active, and name. I won't be adding it as of now. We already have some. Let me jump to articles directly. Right, so this is the article area. So if you've ever used Word document, or if you've ever used some CMS like WordPress, then this is no new thing to you. Just write that article, how to install Desky. The category is visible over here. All the categories that we have, it's visible over here. The status, publish and unpublish, banner image or the article image that you wish to have. And this is the content area. Right, so you can, this is again a rich text editor. You can have heading, or you can have just be careful based on what heading you have. The preview is visible based on the first few lines. So if it is like very much bold title, it would look very bold and it would stand out on your article page. But again, doing it on normal text, you can add some widgets as well, images as well. You can add your YouTube script, embed script as well. Basically everything that your article or a CMS article can do. So we won't add an article, we already have few. So we'll directly jump that. So where is this articles visible on the front end? So if we go to the front end area and we jump to the articles area, so we have it over here. So how to guide is over here, and this is the area that we have. So these are the categories that has some articles. So here the thing to note over here is we had six 6 categories in the backend, but only 3 are visible. So this is to avoid clutter and noise. So any category which has at least one article linked to it, that would be visible over here. Other than those, no, none would be visible. So you can even click on the category and you can have a listing of all the articles that you wish to see in one particular category. You can do a quick search. You can also jump the categories from here. Right, so this is how the article works. So we have two more interesting thing over here, which is FAQ. FAQ is, again, as I mentioned, it's an objection killer and definitely a good to have item. So we have a dedicated section for FAQ. You just need to come here. You just need to enter your questions and your answer just like you did with the article, and that's it. We have a dedicated page that it aligns itself in a manner that is pleasing to us. Say, for example, over here it is. So we have some uh, FAQs already over here. So that's, you can keep on adding as many FAQs as you wish. Just a tip, be specific and be precise so that it solves the purpose. Next is we have something called as pages. So if you wish to add some static pages to your portal, you want to highlight your some terms and conditions or your support policy, or if you are launching some one-time offer or your discount offer that you want to highlight in pages. So any static information that you wish to add, that can be added over here. Again, exactly similar to how the article is added, but the purpose is to have static information which is for informational purpose to the user. So now that where that page would be visible is under resources tab, and over here the pages would be visible. You can use it, again, it's an optional thing. You can use it for showing some relevant information. Right, so this was a very quick guide on articles. Now let me take you to something that we have not discussed, or where do you manage all your contacts, right? So in contacts, you have two areas. One is the client area and one is the chat contacts. So in client, all the customers, all your valid and registered customer who have account with the portal would be visible over here, right? So these are the verified customers who have either done some purchase with you or some transaction with you. And in contact below that we have chat contacts. So chat contact is something that is general. These guys need not be your customers, but any or every person who has ever initiated some chat with you, we have all the information over here. So we have integration of these contacts in lineup with Mailchimp. We would be rolling that out really soon. So yeah, this was the contacts. And coming to one of the powerhouse of the Desky, right, which is the settings panel, where the complete control and the complete information or the power lies. General settings and homepage settings we've already checked on how we were getting started to it, right? Then comes the ticket control. So if you remember, we had some demo URL field. So so this is a ticket panel. So if you wish to disable the demo field, you can do it from here very quickly. If you remember, we had some custom field name order ID available on the front end. So this is where you can set it up. Say you can add any number of fields to your submit ticket form. Say, for example, I want to add a select area, which is name or randomly. Say, for example, gender. I want to add some gender for my business purposes. Okay, male or female, two options is right. So this way you can add one more field to your support ticket form. So this is the public ticket section where you can disable public ticket concept throughout the system. If you switch it off from here, the public tickets will not be visible at any place. Some more information and some more details about how you can handle public tickets. Below that, we have something called as auto response. Again, this is a very cool and handy feature where you want to set some auto response to your tickets when you plan to go on a vacation. So you can have a vacation, say, for example, 26th to say 31st, we are on vacation. So you can have, hey, we are on vacation, we'll be getting back on something on 31st and we'll answer your query later on. So you can add some response over here. Right below that, we have auto close ticket. This is again a handy tool. So any ticket which you mention over here, say for example 6, so any tickets which is inactive and which has no response or communication over it, after 6 days it gets closed automatically. So this is where you can set it. You can set it to 3, you can set it to 7 based on your support policy. If you remember, we had some default signature that was coming in while we were replying to the customers. So this is where it sets. So again, this is a default signature. Every agent can have their own particular signature. So yeah, very simple, straightforward yet powerful ticket panel. Then coming on to chat settings. So in chat settings, we have the availability timing or schedule, you can say. So we are available 6 days a week and from the time zone. So in this case, we are available 24 hours for 6 days a week. So you can even set, okay, we are available from say morning 9 a.m. to say 7 p.m. in the evening. Right, so this becomes your available timing. So in this particular time, if any new request or any new visitor comes in, he would see that you guys are online and you guys are accepting the request. Beyond that, beyond this timeline, a message will be popped up saying, okay, we are offline right now, please leave a message and we'll get back to you, something like that, right? And the widget area, again, you can customize the color that you wish to have, and the container color that matches your brand guideline, you can do that. Offline message, you can have an offline message that you can add over here. It says, okay, we are offline currently, we'll get back to you within 24 hours or say 12 hours. Then we have a waiting chat message. Now what this does is, so if you have any customer who is just in the queue and your agent is waiting to be answered, right? So you can customize that message over here. Please hold on for a minute. We'll be right back with you. We'll be with you in a moment, something like that. Next, you have waiting queue message. If you have a lot of visitors coming in and the queue is getting increasing, so you can add some message over here. Okay, we are experiencing some heavy traffic, heavy, you can say inflow of requests. Please hold on. You are this particular number in the queue. Right, and this is a message that you can add when an agent closes a ticket. Again, this is not necessary, these are all optional thing. We already have by default messages, but if you wish to customize, you can do that. Below that, there is the powerhouse of the widget. This is the script that you can use to enter have this widget in any of your site. So if you wish to add your chat widget to, say for example, 3 of your websites or your landing pages, just copy and paste this widget into the header or the footer section. So yeah, this is what the chat looks like. Then comes one of the important section for you guys to understand, and this is where we are offering 5 agent accounts, right? 1 being the admin and 4 more agent accounts. So this is the department and agent. You can add any number of departments over here for just by adding add department, department name, department leader, status, active and active. You need to make sure that there is at least 1 department before you can add an agent, because every agent is added to your department. So I already have 2 department, which is technical and sales department. Now jumping on to the agent. So this is where you'll add your 4 more agent accounts once you sign up with your PitchGround coupon code, and you can add any directly from here or remove someone, right? So by adding the agent, it's a simple profile filling up form. You can add the photos, which department he belongs to, what is the full name, then some ID, temporary password that you wish to set, confirm the password, basic information, pin code, role. By default, the role assigned to the agent is an agent role, but at times if you wish to add more power to it, you can add a department leader role as well. So we are not just limited to 1 level hierarchy. This could be a multi-tier hierarchy. So you can have admin, then you can have department leader, then you can have the agents working for those departments. So we have a multi-tier hierarchy over here. Again, something geeky if you only wish to set up that. Fill in this forms and your agent account would be added. and these were the credentials which your agents can use to log into his agent account, right? Next is a powerful tool, which is privacy and permission. We have a lot of power under the hood. So this is the complete access control mechanism that you have. So admin has access to all these particular category, and agent does not have access to the options available over here, right? So you can give the access by ticking in, okay, I want agents to use article module as well, I want him to use client module as well, FAQ module as well. Based on whatever your preferences are, you can set these particular permissions. Again, we already have default settings, so you need not do it, but if you wish to add some power, some booster to your personalization, then you can do it. At the same time, you can add any number of roles that you wish to have. You have department leader, or you can have a temporary remote support role, whatever suits your business or your workflow. Right, so this is privacy and control. Then we have integrations. This is where the magic happens, of linking the system to the other system. The mail settings, we already have a default email setup, but if you wish that the email notification needs to be triggered from your company's email, just set up the SMTP details. We have complete detailed documentation how to do that in our article area. Below that, if you are an Envato author, so for example, if you're selling some digital goods online, be it themes, be it scripts, or be it images, stock video on Envato marketplace like Theme Forest or Code Canyon or something, you can just click this green button, connect to Envato, and under 10 seconds your Envato account would be linked with Desky, and under the hood it would automatically import all the products off from your Envato account. So yeah, if you are an Envato author, this is really a charm feature like for you. Below that, we have Slack notification that is enabled. As I was mentioning, we have good notification control. So if you are using Slack and you wish to have some all the notifications triggered to your Slack channel, you can do it from here. Just enter your webhook URL. Again, we have a detailed documentation for it. You can do that. Over here is a Mattermost settings. A lot of company use Mattermost, which is like Slack alternative for self-hosted solution. You can use the same in the exact fashion how Slack works. Over here is the Google login. You can choose to have the Google login for your customers enabled. In near future, we will have more social logins available like Facebook and stuff. Over here is a web push. So if you notice, I was receiving some web push at the corner. So this was because this was enabled. Over here is the mobile notification. So if you have mobile notification, then you can do it. This is the Envato settings, and you can have this particular details filled in with your store. So these are three things that you need to enter for your WooCommerce settings, and your WooCommerce is ready to go. Just we saw in submitting the ticket, right? So in future, we are coming up with Shopify integration, Amazon seller integration, Zapier, and a lot of more action is in pipeline and would be available. But as of now, this is the set of integration that we can begin with, right? Then coming to the mail templates. So these are very detailed stuff, not necessary that everyone has to do it, but just a showcase that we have something to take care of stuff. So these are the mail templates that you have. So, and the event. So if someone opens a ticket, so this is the template that, this is the email that will be triggered to the user. Again, you have complete control over what can be customized and what can be, what should be the message, what should be a subject line, or if in case you need to promote your other product in the email, so you can do it from here. Again, we won't go in much detail of this. So we'll have a separate tutorial or separate knowledge base regarding this. Then comes the notification area. So this is the notification area. So as I was mentioning, I have web push enabled. If you have linked Mattermost, it would link here. If you have email notifications enabled, so it would also trigger emails. So I had disabled it for the demo purpose. Slack and mobile. These are the events when the notifications are triggered. Again, complete control to you, whatever time at whatever event you want to trigger the notification, you can do that. But again, Desky comes with the default set of notification. You need not do it manually every time. Then comes custom JS and CSS. I understand if you are techie and you have, if you want to personalize your support portal even further, here is your area. Like you can add custom CSS over here, which overrides our default CSS, and you can personalize your entire portal, right? Some information that you can display or show, change the colors or change the layout. If you're good with CSS, you can do that over here. And other than that, you can add your all the analytics script and analytic tool over here. So which is, say for example, Google Analytics script would go here, the Facebook pixel or Hotjar tracking that you wish to do, you can add it to footer or the header area. So again, complete power over here. This is the API settings, and this is not yet rolled out in production. It is under testing, but very soon we are coming up with developer APIs where you can link your external system with Desky directly. Hopefully in a couple of days, this should be active. It's under testing right now. And moving on to external purchase verification. So if you remember, I mentioned that you can even have Desky to verify the orders or verify the purchase from your external system. So if you have some custom store which is built on, or if you have some custom web app that tracks your purchases, so this is the place where you can do it. So this is again something technical. Whenever a ticket is entered, a request is hit from here and to your system to verify whether it's a valid customer or not. Again, we'll have a detailed documentation on this part, how to do it. But so far, yeah, the Desky is capable of handshaking with your external system. Then, as I mentioned, we have some control measure for game as well. So this is completely admin can control it. So if I disable it from here for clients, so for your clients, the game would be disabled, and for your agents, if you can disable or you can keep it enabled. We have two parameters that you can configure, which is play duration, which means that if your agent tries to play, say for example 2 minutes, so your agent would not be able to play the game for more than 2 minutes, right? So this is again to save the misuse of the gamification factor that we have. The next comes is the interval parameter, which is like after 2 minutes, uh, the user would not be able to play game until 60 minutes. So this is a play interval. So every 60 minutes, your agent would be able to play a game, or you can set it to say for 90 minutes or to 120 minutes, whatever you wish to have. Right? By default, there is no limitation to it. User can play it whenever he wishes to do it. Again, this is one very fun factor where we try to keep the mantra of happy space going, and we are committed to have some more interesting such fun stuff into the platform in the near future. So yeah, this was a pretty long session for settings, but yeah, this is more or less from completely settings. I'll quickly take you to the profile section to highlight two more things. So from my profile, you can update your profile, change password. Here is a saved replies. So every agent can have their personal saved replies over here. You can add n number of saved replies, which is automatically listed into your ticket, as well as while the chat, while you do a chat conversation. Yes, so this is how saved replies work. Moving on to the billing area. This would be useful. So again, as we mentioned that our Desky coupons are unlimited stackable. So if you have two coupons, you can just use one coupon to create the account and use the second coupon to stack it over here, so that these limits would increase for you. And you can add any, it's like unlimited stacking. So if you have a requirement of say 20 customer or 20 support agents, just get four coupons on stack it over here. Last but not the least, we have reporting section and analytics. So I'll quickly walk you through that. So in the tickets panel, we have a date range filter. You can add any date range that you want to filter. You can have like on which date, how many tickets were addressed and how many tickets were received. Below that, we have what are the product wise categories, and which is the product that is receiving maximum number of ticket. Again, I don't have data, so agent is empty. So if you have multiple agent who is efficient and who is working on how many number of tickets. That is something visible over here. Again, these analytics and these tools would be more refined, and we have plans to have a more drill down reports that could demonstrate like what is the exact efficiency of the customers. Right, so coming back to the dashboard, and yes guys, this was it from the complete walkthrough of the system, and as clean and as simple it looks, it also has some solid power and some solid customization at the back of the under the hood. Oh, I forgot to mention two little things. We can have, it is multi-language capable. Right now we just have three languages, and we plan to add more: English, Arabic, and Italian. uh, this is a notification, like a standard notification thing. You can explore that. Yes guys, so this was it from the entire product walkthrough, and we literally went through every single feature from the Desky.
Awesome. Wow, that
Right.
was very in depth. Thank you so much, Hetu. Uh, I think we do have a lot of questions coming up from people. Brilliant work on the product, and I'm sure a lot of people would be really excited. So I'm going to just dive in
Awesome.
right away into questions. Meanwhile, guys, if you have any questions, make sure that you keep dropping them right now, because we're just beginning our Q&A sessions, and we want to make sure that all the questions are answered. So the first question is this for unlimited clients and tickets?
Yeah.
Perfect. So guys, if there's no limitation in terms of the number of tickets or clients, if it's 100 or 1,000, or if you have 1 million clients, that's brilliant. Perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Can we
Right.
change the email if we are stacking, and can we open another company?
Yes, so you can open another company, but that would be as good as opening your two separate accounts. So it won't fall under one brand if you wish to have, but you can use two coupons to create two accounts and stack the number of support agents that you wish to have.
Are you planning to add any sort of workspaces where people can manage multiple companies under the same dashboard?
Yes, so multi-brand linking, that I would say that is in the roadmap, but it is in the very initial stage, so that would take a while to come in. But by the time deal ends, we are sure we can have some multi-brand concept where your two brands can have a single admin area where all the support queries and requests are handled from the same panel.
Awesome. So the $59 is for how many companies?
So $59 is for one account. So if you have one brand, or you can have one account, or one company, it's just for one subdomain that we have. So if
Right.
you run brand A, so that is for one
Right.
coupon code
So
works.
what we would recommend you guys is to use the name of your parent company instead of using your brand name. So this way you can deal with like all the questions and everything of your brand under the same roof. So the next question is actually quite interesting. And the question is, how can this work with dApps and blockchain companies?
Awesome. This is an interesting question. So with the blockchain companies, we need to understand like what sort of request they are getting, and what sort of the queries that they are getting. So if the question is in the terms of whether we can have the data on their blockchain, so we are planning to have some developer APIs. Not planning, in fact, it's in testing stage. So you can pull in the data from the ticketing platform, and you can put it to your blockchain node, or vice versa. You can create some ticket directly from your app, or from your dApp, I would say, and the ticket would be generated automatically.
Awesome. Are you planning to add any sort of desktop app in the coming future?
Yes, so that is in a distant roadmap, but yes, an Electron-based desktop app is in our pipeline, but it is not in the public roadmap because it's in the initial stage. But yeah, in down the line we would have a desktop app. So we already have an Android and iOS, and we'll have a desktop app as well.
Awesome. So where is your roadmap? So guys, if you are looking for the roadmap, you can simply head to desky.support/roadmap, or you can find the link in the footer of their website. So the next
Right.
question is, I really like the internal transparency feature. How is it implemented in your product?
I mean, You refer to the presentation, or I didn't understand the question.
So that question was from Naman. He was asking about the internal transparency feature that I think that was there from the presentation.
Right, right. So internal transparency that we meant is having a team collaboration internally. So if you mention, if you've seen the demo, we had some internal information sharing with the notes in the public ticket, and gathering some information on each ticket, as well as while the chat is assigned. So yeah, we have a basic setup of how the collaboration happens internally, and that's where the transparency is. But again, there's always a room for having more such stuff included, and that is we are committed, and we will have more on that part.
Awesome, brilliant. Let's move on to the next one. I hope now that solves your question. So the next one is, what difference does Desky makes for my business if I'm already using a help desk? Why will I switch to Desky?
So yeah, so if you're already using Helpdesk, and if you so there are the pain areas that every Desky, I mean every Helpdesk support system solves, right? So if Desky suits your purpose, Desky is something that we have tried to keep it very startup friendly, very a small team friendly, and if you're already having some hiccups and pain points of too much of overwhelming and bloated version of Helpdesk, then Desky is a perfect fit for you.
Brilliant. I hope, Nomad, that solves your question. Moving on to the next one. The base plan, how many websites are covered?
uh, so there are no limitation to the websites in terms of chat, so you can add any number of widgets. There is literally no limitation to adding the chat widget, and for brand, as we mentioned, you can have one account with one code.
Awesome, brilliant. So next question is, are you planning to offer any sort of CNAME to mask the subdomain right now?
Yes.
Or is it already available, or is it in the roadmap?
It's not available. It's in the roadmap. Maybe by early June, that would be available. But that is a highly requested feature, and that is something we have already in the roadmap. So by early June, the CNAME feature would be available, and you can have your own custom URL or your alias domain that represents your company domain.
Awesome. So Fabricio, I hope that answers your question. So the CNAME is coming up. So it should be out there by early June, which is just about 2 to 3 weeks from now, basically. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay. Did you plan to have any SSO implemented so that
Yes.
brilliant?
Yes.
Any timelines? Any specific timelines?
We are still working on it, but since it's in very early stage, we had to roll out the basic uh, stuff first. But SSO is definitely in the roadmap. Probably before the deal ends, it should be available. But that is again one of the high requested feature that is coming up, and we do have it in the roadmap.
Perfect. So the next question is, are you planning to improve on the UI UX anytime soon?
That's definite. Yes, in fact, we are started working on it. So the UI UX element of the entire platform will get a bump up very soon, and the seamlessness and the transitions and the interaction would become more convenient and more easier.
Awesome. Any specific timelines? I know like it's a very vague question, but
Right,
in development that sometimes there can be like plus and minuses depending upon the
right,
challenges. Plus, with the entire COVID situations, it's a little harder to work through at the same time with like managing the team and
right.
managing everything. But still, like any sort of tentative timelines that can get people a bit excited.
Right. So the UI UX part is something we are targeting by June end. So that is where we are targeting. But since we are launching the deal, and we are completely open to feedbacks that is coming on from users. So based on that, the timeline might be a little up and down. But on a general note, we are targeting by June end.
Awesome, brilliant. Let's move on to the next one. How often the updates will come by? So I'm assuming like you're probably using agile development model.
Right. So we plan to have an update almost every 10 days or even before. Ideally, it's a week, but on a safer side, every 10 days there would be some production, some feature update that would be available on Desky, and a detailed change log would be visible on our public website roadmap as well.
Awesome. So let's dive a bit in. So there are some questions that are not asked by the users, but we usually cover these sort of questions. So
Mhm.
how big is the Desky team right now that's working on Desky?
Right, so we have a core member of a 8-member team, and we get some external help as well at times. But we have a complete dedicated team of 8 people aggressively working on Desky, and those guys are like really hard committed to make this platform as strong as possible.
So are these like in-house devs or is it outsourced?
Mm,
How is your team structured right now?
right. So entire team, the what I mentioned is in-house dev. So at times when we need help, as I mentioned, we get some outsourced developers. But all these the core team of 8 is in-house people.
Awesome, brilliant. Guys, while we're taking up all the questions, make sure to drop in your questions if you have any. We'll ensure to answer each one of them as they are coming by. Um, I think we have pretty much rapid fired all the questions.
Awesome.
Just a moment. Yeah, I think we've pretty much answered all the questions in a very, very rapid fire way. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please drop them below right now so that we can cover them. We'll just take a couple more questions before we wrap up the sessions. So while we do
Right.
that, what are your next plans, Hetul? When are you releasing the next stuff? And how can we make people really excited about the product?
Right. So immediate next plan is something we are almost on the verge of finishing some features into the Desky. One of them is the developer API. I had several requests like how do I integrate my external system, and I want to pull in data from Desky.
Hmm?
So developer APIs are almost ready. So under 10 days, that is coming up. Some more refinements on chat area. Just a small hint, which is not in the public roadmap. So we plan to have a screen sharing feature via chat, so that could boost up support productivity even higher, and making your customers educate your customers much more easier. So that is in a roadmap as well, but it is not yet into public roadmap because it's under testing. Again, Facebook Messenger integration, and very immediately the Shopify integration is also in lineup. So that is coming up very soon, to have all the Shopify store owners get started with Desky support.
Awesome, brilliant. With that, I think we pretty much answered all the questions. I'm just going to go through to make sure that I didn't miss out any one of them. Yep, I think we've covered all of them. So, guys, thank you so much for joining in. It was an absolute
Awesome.
thrill, and the replay is going to be available right away on our Facebook page. At the same time, we're going to be publishing it on our YouTube channel within next 24 to 48 hours. So you can go through over there, and it will also be visible on our website, which is pitchground.com/products slash desky slash video. So you will be able to see all the videos and the upcoming webinars that we're going to be doing as well, so that you can rest assured that the product is going to be brilliant. So one apparent amazing thing is that Hetul lives in the same city as mine, and I think we literally are just about 15 kilometers, which is I think about 7 or 8 miles away from each other. That's it.
Right.
So rest assured that as soon as the lockdown is over in Mumbai, if it happens soon, because it got extended by the government. If it happens, then I'm definitely going to hit Hetul's office and make you meet their entire team. So I think that
Awesome.
is something that's going to be amazing. But again, it comes down with social distancing, and we have to make sure that we follow all the required necessary norms from the government. But definitely, if it's going to be happening, if not this month, then definitely it's going to be happening in the coming months, and we'll definitely going to be touring the entire office and making you meet every single team member of Hetul. That's one of the perks I think of having a SaaS company that is located just next
Just
door.
next to you.
Awesome,
Totally
guys.
agree, man. Really excited for that, man.
Awesome, guys. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We are absolutely thrilled for you to join in, and thank you for sticking around till the end. And you guys have a fantastic day ahead. Have a fantastic week ahead. We have a ton of things planned out for you guys, and we'll keep sharing with you guys in the coming week. So everyone, have a great one, and make sure to stay safe.